It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Caroline. I'm hoping that AI doesn't take over poetry, that robots will not start doing my job. I don't think it pays enough. So I'm going to start off with a poem that came from an epigraph from Psychology Today, which reads, "For all we know, ours may be the only planet in the universe hosting mind and consciousness. If so, then our decisions and our conduct will determine whether the universe has a long future as a conscious entity or will soon lapse back into unconsciousness." This was originally entitled No Pressure. It's called To Live, the Imperative. How terrifying, the world without the two bright lights in our live, kind eyes. Maybe the universe reads all our email, understands our jokes and work, loves our music. 99% of all the species that ever lived are now extinct. We counter with side curtain airbags, programs to maintain brain health, surefire weight loss diets. A language dies every 14 days. What if fireflies stopped blinking? About 250,000 birds die each day from crashing into windows. What does the sperm feel when it wins? I praise the headlong from love to egg and life. 40% of the human race didn't survive its first year. Creating against destruction, is that a fair fight? A quarter of our daughters are depressed or anxious. This is what a hovering helicopter does to me. The person I loved most in the world went to solitude. He lives outside my tenses. By now, you have felt this too. The angel Ashriel separates souls from bodies. There are stars so far away, their light hasn't had time to reach us, but only we can think their thoughts. A lot of my poems are inspired by journalism. Most of the facts in that poem were true. I'm big into truth in journalism because it's the only way to go. And this one comes from a lot of my reporting on portraits of grief after 9/11 when the New York Times did brief sketches of the individual victims. It also comes with an epigraph from Science Times, which reads, "By the time it is done growing, there are about 1 billion water molecules in a typical snowflake. And on average, each of us on Earth has contributed by exhalation and evaporation about 1,000 of the molecules in each snowflake." So I read that and I'm like, I have to get a poem out of that right this morning. It's called Each of Us. We are all here in these eyelashes of flakes, zinging at our faces over and over, our loves requited and not, the joyful young man I wrote to the summer after college, and Trisha, who said, "I fell in love with a Japanese woman who was making teeth," and the man who felt sentenced to life, accused of abusing a child, because killing himself would appear an admission of guilt. Here's the woman who wrote the slogan, "Cat bathing made easy," and the nurse who said of newborns, "They're all cartilage." I see Ella like a carousel horse, impaled on her fear, lurching forward a bit, inevitably retreating. I want her to break free of whatever darkness constrains her. Here's the dad who says, "Smile and say pumpernickel" before taking a picture. And here's the man whose eyes were so dark, no one could see his pupils. There is the child who, from a few months old, would hold on to his mother's earlobe whenever he got tired. And newlyweds who fit together like notes and measures. I notice a few molecules from the man who bought his late wife's favorite perfume to spray it on his pillow before he went to bed, the only way he could sleep. And M's friend composing a song, "Sorry for the things I did to you in your dream." Here's the 98-year-old woman who was born with wrinkled hands, The doctor said she must have had all her troubles in a previous life, and looking back, she agreed. Thousands of molecules melt on me, maybe including saints and my dead grandmothers. Come along, look up, mouth open, take them in. Thank you.